What's going on, y'all? Saturday, March 2nd, and Pops and I are back in the shop.
Yo!
He's back here eyeballing some stuff, and we have the car still sitting here rolling. We've been doing some stuff today. As y'all see the little motor there, that is just a mock-up engine. We put some rods and pistons and a crankshaft in a block that we had laying here, bolted heads to it, cast iron intake, and we're trying to get some weight on this thing to see where the front end was going to go, where the nose piece was going to go, and see if our nose piece was good on height and stuff like that. So we wanted to get everything in there. Not everything, obviously we don't have everything to put in there. So we had the transmission, the bell housing, and the flywheel bolted to the motor. Obviously we don't have a clutch in there, so we know there's things that we're going to add to it that's going to be more weight. And I'm going to be honest with you, we had this thing on scales earlier, and we're going to need it. So I'll turn the camera around, show y'all what we're going to do, show you what we've been doing, and y'all hang out with us. Alrighty, so Pops and I slung that together earlier, and we bolted the cast iron intake on there because we will be running an aluminum intake, and we figured that would help take up more weight, like the carburetor and stuff that we don't have on there. And but Dylan Jones was the man that sent the brake line kit, and he said he sent it before we made the video about repurposing the brake lines off that other chassis. Y'all notice the chassis and trailer's gone. Trailer's out there, chassis gone. So, Dylan, we got to use your lines, and we made a new clutch line with it. We teed off right here off of our left front brake. This goes to a right front brake cutoff. Pops and I got all that mounted. Right front all hooked up. We got our battery cable ran down to where the starter's gonna be. And we ran a new clutch line. So what we decided to do on the clutch is come off the master cylinder and run along with our brake lines. And we actually put a fitting right there. And that is a brake line fitting that goes from 3/16 to AN. And we just stubbed it out right here by the bell housing. So we'll take an AN line from there with a 90 on it and go down that inside that drive shaft tunnel into our throwout bearing, our hydraulic throwout bearing. So y'all see the gas pedal. Pops and I got it mounted. We had to do a little work on it, extend it. So we cut it off, took some flat bar, drilled some extra holes in it, welded it and lengthened it where it would be a little bit higher, and got it to the height we need. Everything is wired. Everything is plumbed. That is everything that needs to be done minus the fuel system. We still have to get fuel hose, fuel filter, fuel fittings for the fuel cell, and stuff like that. Speaking of, that's what I've been doing. We got her strung up back here. Real nice, shiny black. And instead of going and buying rattle can paint, I got to looking in the cabinet, and we actually had some implement paint, farm and implement paint left from Tractor Supply. We actually ended up having some acetone and a little bit of hardener. So I just mixed it up in the spray gun and sprayed that fuel cell cage just a little bit ago. It's already starting to get tacky and tack up. But in the meantime, we have an access panel laying right over there on the welder. And that's going to be our 8x8 access panel that goes back here over the fuel cell so we can open and refuel the car. And we need to cut this right in there and put that access panel in it. So if y'all want to hang out, we're going to do a little sheet metal work. And that way, once that dries enough and we can get it back over in here, we're going to cut some of this plate steel, make our straps, 2-inch straps over the fuel cell, paint them real quick. We'll just rattle can them. And that way the fuel cell's in the car for good. And we're going to go ahead and start putting this sheet metal in. Pops and I agree that we can get the fuel line on the fuel cell through the little 8x8 access panel. And as long as the doors and quarters are not on, we can reach in and get to it. So we want to get some sheet metal on this thing. We want to get further along as we can. Y'all, we're ready to race. Right now it's about 5:15 on Saturday night, and the local track is racing tonight. So Southern All-Stars at North Alabama Speedway tonight. Hate that we're missing it, but to be honest with you, we know if we spend more time right here, we can also be there with this. So we're going to do what we can in the shop tonight, and we're going to enjoy this pretty weather. Turned out to be a really great day. Started off cloudy, but it's turned out to be a good day. So y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. So y'all seen in the time lapse, we got our access panel put in there, and we pulled that back out because we've got the fuel cell in the car. Cage painted, it dried overnight. We got it bolted in, clamps tight, straps made, straps in. Got some grade 8 bolts in there that are not long enough, but we got to change those out. So they're just stuck in there for now. Pops has got a list over there. He's been working on bolts, stuff we need for the entire car. So he's got his bolt list, and we'll have to add to that for those 4 bolts.
It's on the top.
It's on the top.
It's on the top.
And but that's no big deal. Stuff like that. Obviously we don't have the sides made, so we're gonna work on getting the decking in the car and start putting in the pieces we can put in, getting those pot riveted in for the final time. And that way we can keep making progress on this thing, y'all. We want to start getting it as close as we can to where once we get an engine, we can set the motor in it, crank it, it'll be ready to go to the racetrack. That's where we're trying to get. So Pops and I are going to work on putting this sheet metal in. We're going to get that big piece first, slide it in. It has to go up under that piece there. So we'll probably take the seat, take it back loose, and then just tilt it up out of the way so we can pot rivet that piece in once we get all this laid in there. So y'all hang out with us. All right, y'all. We're going to leave this on real time for a little bit while we get a couple pieces in here. And then I'll probably throw it up on time lapse here in just a little bit. So we'll get this big piece laid over in there. Get my rivet gun. For the rivet day. Ooh. Has pressure on it when the line ain't leaking. We had a leak at air hose and pots. We cut it off, shortened it up a little bit, but it's all right. We had a bunch of holes in our air line. Something like that. Something like that. Got our nice yellow pot rivets. What you doing up there? Oh, there's a couple of them over here, dude. There's there's one over here. It's got some rivet heads on it. Probably needs to be pulled off. Shout out to our friends at Bryke Racing for getting us where we get our pot rivets. Here you go. I'm gonna lay them up here. That way I have them. Huh? That big. Turn that big in. Almost like it was on there before.
I know, somewhere. Couple of holes on it.
Couple of mine, I know that.
Had a splitter we used.
Yeah. The other one.
I don't know where it's at.
Got in there.
We'll go ahead and get this piece
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put it.
and then pull this up,
Yeah.
drill it.
I figure we'll just just put our rivets through all of it.
Yeah. And then take the stick loose.
Rivets. Hey, I want to give a shout out to a bunch of people. Pot rivet gun fell off the tire. Give a shout out to everybody that's commented on the sheet metal work. A bunch of people have said that it looks good, man. We appreciate it. This is actually the first car that Pops and I have ever done the decking and sheet metal on ourselves. Our late model that we ran in 2018, Big Jake, when we got that car, Big Jake redone the decking on it. And other than just straightening pieces out, I mean, this is probably the extent of what we've ever done as far as making sheet metal pieces for the first time. So,
For many, many years.
yep. So, a little homemade brake, done a good job. And obviously we got to make the sides and everything. So, we appreciate it. We thank y'all very much for the comments. Shout out to TJ Rouse, Dirt Fever TV. He commented and said he's doing a good job. And I tell you what, that boy right there can sling some sheet metal. And I envy guys that do sheet metal. So, it's a lot different than what I'm used to. You give me a grinder and a welder, I can go to town, but sheet metal is a different ball game. I'll put this one in.
Yeah.
Because that other one lays on top of it. I think it is, yeah.
That's it?
I'm gonna go ahead and put the plastic on it.
Oh, there you go. So we ain't got that.
Right.
Well, we can put it in, already from the inside.
Yeah, let it slide up under.
Yeah.
We were discussing that piece over there that I messed up on and didn't have enough sheet metal for. We have yet to make it. Yet to make it. Peel back our edges. that's that bad bit. Gotta find a good 3/16 bit. I need to invest in a bunch of them, don't I?
Yeah.
Y'all hang out. All right, y'all. As y'all seen in the time lapse, we were throwing the decking on it. And if y'all remember, this is the piece that we haven't made yet because we didn't have enough metal. So Pops and I hopped in the car, headed down to Russellville, and got up with Jerry King and Ryan King. And Ryan had some yellow laying around, 48 by 59 piece. So we ran down there and got it. And that way we can make our last piece of decking. That way, once we get all this pot riveted on, all the decking is officially done. And then it'll be on to, you know, fenders, hood, doors, quarters, and stuff like that. So we just wanted to get the last piece of decking done. That way we could say it was finished and completely done. So I know these videos are getting repetitive. The last few have been repetitive on what we've been doing. Once we get all this done, then we'll be doing some different stuff. I know a lot of this decking stuff was fitting, taken out. So y'all just hang out with us. We got a lot more coming. And right now, we're going to cut out the piece of metal that we need for that, and we get it bent up, and we're going to get it put on. So y'all hang out. All right, y'all. Last piece. We're going to throw this last piece on. Obviously, we don't have that seam right there, pot riveted between those two. We'll have to get in the cockpit and reach up in there with our pliers. Vice grips that have a flat bar on them. We'll get that up there at the same height, flush, and then clamp her together. But we're going to throw this last piece of decking on.
Oh, cool. You want to trim that out just a fraction right there?
You killed me with the fractions.
How about that fraction? That would be I'll be the one to hang my hand on it.
We'll put a few more rivets in that. But right now, we'll give y'all a little walk around. Kind of gave y'all a walk around before once we had it in there. But pull all this old plastic off here. There's satisfaction in that somewhere. I know y'all seen in the time lapse, my wife come down here and she wanted to pull the plastic off the sheet metal. But there it is, y'all. There's all the decking pieces in, pot riveted in. We'll finish pot riveting that piece that we just put on, and then we'll finish that seam up there between those two. And then we'll be ready for the rest of it. You got to put a couple more pot rivets right here. And all these lips are doubled over. And then we'll drill our holes and put our body clips on there for our bolts, body bolts for the doors and quarters. I'll give y'all a good bird's eye view of it. Well, there she is, y'all. Well, we hope y'all like the decking in the car. Pops and I are pretty proud of it, being the first one we've done. And we think it turned out good. I gotta get the air hose over here in a second and blow all these shavings off. And we're getting there, y'all. We're getting there. We're gonna get some more sheet metal this week, probably end of this week. I think Doug's got some more coming in out there at McElroy Motorsports, and I think he may have some yellow out there now. I have to check with him, and we're gonna get some more sheet metal, and we're gonna try our hand at some doors and quarters. So try our hand at a hood and a roof and B-pillars, and we're gonna try to make them look as close to stock as a stock Monte Carlo as possible. So that way we meet the rules. So can't thank y'all enough. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Thank you to all the new subscribers, 1,537 subscribers so far. And we can't thank y'all enough for that. And Mike, I don't know your last name, buddy. I know your username is Rockabilly and some numbers. I've got it written down up at the house. I've been writing down everyone that's been sending us stuff. Of course, decking sponsor list and all that. If you buy something off the Amazon wish list, you will be automatically put on a decking sponsor spot of your choice that's open. And then obviously we will shout you out and talk about you in the videos. Mike said that we had a package coming March 6th. And I went to Christmas, y'all. I'm ready for Christmas. Mike said we had a package coming, should be here March 6th, which is Wednesday. And we'll definitely show y'all in the video what comes in. But for now, I think Pops and I are going to throw a few more rivets in the decking. And that way we can call her done and call it a day. We've been down here for a little while today. But we thank y'all. Can't thank y'all enough. Appreciate every one of y'all. And if y'all will, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Y'all, it's been a long day. Can't thank y'all enough. And we appreciate it. Like I said, I know the videos have been repetitive. We're getting there. Now we're getting into some new stuff. Doors, quarters, hood, like I said. It'll be fun watching us mess up some sheet metal. Y'all hang out with us. Appreciate y'all. And until next time.
Appreciate it, guys and gals. Thank y'all very much. Until next time, God bless you.
See y'all.